If I could change one thing, it would be the relationship with my dad. I used to get in trouble for getting up in the middle of the night doing choreography. As I was very much like a little pit bull. Me and my sister went sick after we had our babies. The ultimate goal I have with sharing my story with people is that God has a plan for us, even when we veer off from that plan.
Just anything you touch is shining bright. Fake flaring style, shit you gotta like. From the hustle to the heart, she's been through it all. Empowering women, she's standing tall.
I'm the oldest of 6. It's 4 girls and 2 boys. And of course, I grew up in the house with my mother and my father. And our childhood was pretty normal or typical. We didn't have a lot of money, but we weren't like poor either. So we grew up in the hood for our whole life. Like we didn't move out till we were like young adults. So yes, sharing rooms and stuff. But yeah, so we all grew up together. So my mom she had multiple jobs. She worked at the hospital. She worked at the bank. She worked in retail. My mom did math stuff. She always kept 2 or 3 jobs. My father was in construction, and he also was an entrepreneur. So he was a vendor. So he had merchandise. He used to sell merchandise. So he was a hustler. I got that part from him. Back then, we had a lot of after school programs. We had Girl Scouts. We had the LEAP program, all kinds of stuff. I was in the band. Well, I was a flag girl in the band. I was a cheerleader, all kinds of stuff. So I stayed doing things after school. The programs were free, so that was good. So I would stay after school and do everything. Whatever they had, I'm going to do it so I don't have to go home. That's the main thing. At that age, that was the main thing. I just like to be out doing my own thing all the time. So I realized I really loved dance in middle school. Well, in elementary school, like around 8, 9, 10 years old. And my mother applied for me to go to a magnet school so that I could dance. There was dance schools around, but like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of money, and they cost. And my mom couldn't afford for me to go to an actual dance school, so she got me in Betsy Ross, which was an arts magnet school. And there I took dance. And we were able to like pick the emphasis, and I emphasized on dance. So that's how I was able to get my dancing skills in. And then I was good. I was really good. And I kept up with all the dancers that danced their whole life, and I didn't dance my whole life. My mother was a dancer. She was a dancer when she was growing up in North Carolina, and she was on the Pom Pom Squad, and she was known for that. Like when she would go home for like reunions, like that's all they talked about was her dancing. She was known for dancing, so I know that I got that from her. Definitely. I was always trying to like run off and start these dance crews, and sometimes they didn't always live close. So I had to like try to figure out how I was going to like get all the girls in the neighborhood together without getting in trouble. I used to get in trouble for getting up in the middle of the night doing choreography. Like while I'm laying there, I would just think of moves, and then, when I'm supposed to be asleep for the next day, and I would get up and start dancing, and they'd be like, "Who is that upstairs?" And it'd be me trying to actually do the choreography that I'm thinking of. So yeah, I love dance. I mean, I loved it so much. I used to watch music videos, and I used to like get emotional. Like that's supposed to be me up there. My mom was like, she was young. So her and my dad got married at 19, and she had me at 21. So, and then she popped us out. Talena, which is the one right under me, she's only a year, and Nikki is 2 years from Talena, and then my brother Eddie is 2 years from Nikki, and then Andre is a year from Eddie. Yes, so she just kept popping us out. So my father moved her from North Carolina up to Connecticut, and she didn't have any family here. So they moved into his family's house. And so once she started having kids, we were her only family, her only biological family. So like at that age, I had a baby at 19, so 19, 20. At that age, for her to choose motherhood, I think is unbelievable. Like, a lot of people at that age, they get overwhelmed, you know, they're in a new place. They want to do them. They don't really want to be a mother. You know what I mean? And she literally chose motherhood. It sounds like that's what you're supposed to do, but unfortunately people don't do it. But she did it. My mom, she's the one that gave us whatever she could. You know what I mean? And she used to take us shopping every Tuesday and Thursday and have us looking all cute. Nothing expensive. Everything was cheap. Caldors, Bradleys, you know, stuff like that. But she always kept us looking really cute. Or the little hair bows, matchy, but for a low price. So she was a budget baller. You know, we go to her, Ma, can I have this? She will figure it out. My dad, he was the one with the money and was stingy as heck. He was so stingy. And we didn't have that relationship anyway to ask for things. It was like, he made sure we had the necessities for real, and that was it. I remember I forged her signature at school. Yes. And she came to the school to pick me up, and I wasn't there. And then she found me in the mall with my friend. My mom, she just knew me. Like, she came straight to the mall. She said, I just knew you was in here. I was in the food court, chilling. Chilling. But it's hard to find, it's really hard to think of like a fond memory because she was so loving. You know what I'm saying? Everything was just over the top when it came to us. She really was. I always say she mastered love. Like, mastered it. My kids, my biological kids and my stepkids look at me the same way I looked at my mother. A walking encyclopedia. I'm the doctor. I'm the seamstress. I know everything to them. I'm Jesus' secretary. I am literally like, you know, I'm just like my mother was to me, everything. They call me, every last one of them, for everything. So I have 2 boys, biologically, and I have 2 girls who are my husband's daughters. So now, just like how I used to wear my mom's clothes, they always in my closet wearing my clothes. They want to use my face stuff. They want to use everything of mine. Can I wear the sweater? Can I wear your shoes? I'm like, oh my God, that's how I used to do my mother. But they remind me of me with my mom. And they're not even my biological daughters. I think it's just that love. You know what I'm saying? When you love always wins. That love just makes you comfortable. It makes you think you can just, you know, relax and just, you know. So they're like that with me. If I could change one thing, it would be the relationship with my dad. I wished that we had a relationship. Yes, he was there, but not there mentally or emotionally. It was almost like he left my mother to parent and was still doing his own thing. He did, you know, take us out from time to time. He did. We went to church. He went to church with us, or we went to church with him, whatever. But there was no sitting, talking. Actually, he was pretty mean. He was pretty mean. We actually hated when he came home. It was like a whole different shift in the atmosphere when he came home. I honestly think that he just didn't understand what he had gotten himself into as far as getting married so young and having children. And I just think that he just was checked out. Like, he never really checked in to that reality. You know what I mean? We have a somewhat of a relationship now. We have a better relationship now because I'm an adult and I don't need you really. You know what I'm saying? And we can talk, have conversation about certain things. But I don't really honestly think that he would take responsibility. I don't. And it's just from when I do bring up certain things, his response is what makes me believe that. When we were little, completely different. It's like when we started, like, I can't even pinpoint what that is exactly. But at a certain age, it's like, like, okay now. I have forgiven him completely. Yeah, years. So I really don't. I think the only thing I wish is that if we have a conversation, I would wish that he would be understanding and take responsibility, and then have conversations with my siblings so that, well, the girls, because the boys' situation's a little different with the girls, and get a better relationship with them, because I'm fine. Like, I wished that he was more easy to go to. I wish that he displayed love more to us, because the outside world loved him to death. He couldn't do no wrong. He was God's gift to the world. But at home, it just wasn't like that. I wish that I did not grow up feeling like he didn't want us there. I believe that I probably would not have ran so quickly. That's when I had went off. So I missed her second son. I missed my sister's 2 kids. But I missed my brother's kids. I missed a lot. I mean, boys are just different. Like, I just feel like they really don't, maybe they felt like there was really nothing I could do anyway. You know what I mean? But I think me and Eddie are closer than me and Andre. And sometimes I wish that me and Andre could have conversations. Me and Eddie have conversations. Now, we haven't talked about me leaving and, none of that. But me and Andre, we really don't talk much. Just laugh and joke here and there, but no real serious talks at all. So, I mean, I don't know if he feels some type of way. He's the more sensitive one. So it's a possibility. I don't know. Talena was me and Talena were fairly close growing up because we were only 1 year apart. Nikki, she might have, anytime I came home to visit, oh my gosh, she was so excited. So, I mean, she's never said anything. She thought I was just the best. So, she thought I was the best thing popping. So, she didn't feel no type of way. I don't feel like my sisters felt any type of way. I do feel like when I was out there, though, I feel like, with them not understanding where my mind was, I feel like there was a lot of judgment, a lot of, misunderstanding why I went and became a dancer. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've taken both of them to the club with me before. So they've seen me in action. Well, I was the boss, so I made them dance. And my mom know her child. She know me, and she trusted me. She gave me the whooping rights. Okay, the 2 youngest boys, no. But the girls, well, especially Talena, she had to dance because I danced. So on Saturdays when we're supposed to be, sleeping in, watching cartoons because, we were in school all week long, I was waking everybody up, waking Talena up, and sometimes Nikki and then the girls in our neighborhood up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning because we got dance practice. And sometimes it was for a show, sometimes it wasn't. But that's how much I love dance, and everybody has to join in. So, yep, they had to dance too. If she left me in charge and they didn't listen, they got a beating by me and then her for not listening. We was a team. So, and even still to this day, I love my mother for teaching us to have respect for each other, because even in our differences, it's very seldom that we would fight each other. Very seldom that we would, some families, they can't be in the same room. One thing we can do is put our differences aside to get together. And she taught us to always respect each other. So, even to this day, I'm still the mother of everyone. I was even her mother. And they still give me the respect. Um, so I graduated from Hill House. I had a lot of friends. I was popular. Yes. I mean, I just had a big personality. I was easy to get along with. I was a chat box. My teacher used to call me a magnet. I just had fun. A lot of girls didn't like me either because I was very mature for my age and I had a nice body and all that kind of stuff. And their boyfriends used to like me. I didn't like them, but they used to like me. So, you got the ones who love me to death, and you got the ones who hate to love me. And then you got the ones that don't like me because they just think that I think that I'm all that. I was boy crazy. But no, my mom was different. Like, she knew that I liked boys and I had boyfriends in school, but she knew I wasn't crazy either. You know what I mean? I'm not doing nothing crazy. My dad, he didn't know nothing. My dad didn't know nothing because he wasn't around. Like, he was there, but he was out doing him. So he really, if a boy caught a house, then maybe. But then he's like, who's that? But my mom be like, oh, that's just her friend from school. She covered for us. But as far as like boyfriends, like once I got in like to my early 20s or so, I did have a lack of respect. And I was very, very defensive, very aggressive. Who are you? Anyway, period. Like, the things that the way I saw my dad talk to my mom and disrespect my mom, that wasn't going down with me. So any little thing that I felt like you was trying to like play me, I'ma show you. I'ma show you. Yes, I was very much like a little pit bull. If you was trying to play me, if not, I was cool. But I just wasn't around for it at all. I regret staying and going to Southern Connecticut State University. I was supposed to go out of state to a HBCU school, and I didn't go. I stayed. That's another thing I think if I would have went where I wanted to go, things would have been different for me because I did not like Southern, so I did not do well. Yeah. And I was going to go to Virginia State with my best friend, but I ended up going to Southern because of my boyfriend at the time. He was going to school in Massachusetts and wanted to be close. Yeah, that's the one. If I always say when I'm asked if I can go back and change anything, I always say I will go back and change that because I really feel like I would have kept my grades up because I would have wanted to stay. I would have got on a dance team. I would have became a cheerleader, or I would have pledged or something and I would have had to keep my grades up. You know what I mean? But Southern was so boring to me. I just really was like, I'm over this after 1 year. I'm over this. So yeah, I would change that. Following my heart. Yeah. I want to be a social worker. I love to help people. Yeah. I was always, the problem solver, the mediator. I get the counsel and coach right from my salon chair. And that's better. Chapter 2, I will probably talk about motherhood. That would be good. Yes. That was interesting. People say their life ends when they get pregnant and have a baby. Mine's just begin. Me and my sister went sick after we had our babies. I mean, we went sick. So the ultimate goal I have with sharing my story with people is that God has a plan for us. Even when we veer off from that plan, along our journey, He's always speaking to us, always moving things. He's always there. And eventually, we get tired of going our own way and we'll stop and listen to the direction back on the path that He had for us. So it's never too late to stop, listen, and get back on track. Chapter 2, I will probably talk about motherhood. That would be good. Yes. That was interesting. People say their life ends when they get pregnant and have a baby. Mine's just begin. Me and my sister went sick after we had our babies. I mean, we went sick. So the ultimate goal I have with sharing my story with people is that God has a plan for us. Even when we veer off from that plan, along our journey, He's always speaking to us, always moving things. He's always there. And eventually, we get tired of going our own way, and we'll stop and listen to the direction back on the path that He had for us. So it's never too late to stop, listen, and get back on track.
Just one thing you touch is shining bright. Fake flare and style, shit you gotta like. From the hustle to the heart, she's been through it all. Empowering women, she's standing tall. Her journey's real, her story's true. It's on your